Hey everybody, Chris Bober here with Team Bober at Nebraska Realty. Thanks for tuning back in to our video blog, and today we're going to talk a little bit and we're going to follow up a little bit on some of the statistical reporting that we've been bringing to you recently. So in the last couple of reports I brought you statistics and market data for the Omaha market as of the middle to 3/4 through 2018. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, we talked about where the market's going. Today I want to talk about a practical use of how it affects you and how it'll affect you maybe next year or the year after when it comes to selling and buying a house. So today we're going to talk about the cost of waiting to buy or sell your home. And what's going on is today so many people, they love to sell their property right now because it's selling fast, it's selling for good money, and it's a great position to be in the seller's market. The problem is if you're going to go buy a piece of property, if you're going to go buy a house, you're going to jump back in with all the people who are fighting over your house. So it's a very frustrating time. So we're going to look at the difference of it and see whether or not it might be worth going through that process now or waiting. All right. And again, our mission at Team Bober is to educate and empower our clients to make great real estate decisions, which is why we bring you so much information. So I'm not going to dive into the stats too much because I've already showed this to you, but the two things I want you to look at is over last year, the new sale price and existing sale price have gone up 5% and 7% respectively. And I'm going to use those numbers as I push forward into what the market's going to look like here in a year. All right. So one of the popular trends that's going on right now is what's called a move-up buyer or move-up seller. Right. So basically, you're someone who's been in your house for a while. You've gathered some equity. And over time, you've got a better job, you made more money, you're smarter, so you want to move into the next price bracket. And these are people who have just done well, they've gotten better in life, and they want a nicer house, right? So right now, it's a great time to sell. There's high prices, multiple offers, things are moving quickly. However, it's also a frustrating time to buy for the exact same reasons. There's high prices and multiple offers. Now, one of the popular solutions that people are doing these days is because they don't want to necessarily go out and fight against the rest of the existing home buyers, they like to go through new construction. Sometimes you can get houses that are already started, or you can start from scratch. It gives you the time to do them and allows you time to sell your home how you want to sell it. You can time that up a little bit easier if you're building a home. Also, what you're going to see is that you can lock in lower interest rates now. So it's no secret that interest rates are rising, but a lot of lenders will let you lock in for 6 or even 9 months. So you can start that house right now, take advantage of the low rates, and also take advantage of the great sales prices that are going on. All right, so why move now? There's several different reasons. Inventory and days on the market are trending up. Now that means that it's probably, maybe not immediately, but in the future, it's going to get a little bit more difficult to sell, right? Prices just aren't taking off. Actually, prices are doing really well, but inventory is starting to back up, and so are days on the market, which is a sign of a changing market. The fall and winter months, this is September, the beginning of it. From now on, all the way through spring is what we call a calmer market conditions. And Greg Mitchell was actually at our sales meeting this morning and talked about how much easier sometimes it is to sell and buy property in the winter months, fall months, because you're not rushed. You make better decisions. Interest rates are rising, no secret. At the beginning of this year, rates were actually 3.99%. We're hovering just over 4.5, maybe 4.625. It's not inconceivable that they continue to go up, and we're looking at somewhere in the fives, middle fives by the end of next year. New construction prices are skyrocketing, and I use that term not to offend the people that are building houses out there, but with land prices and labor and materials, new construction is really, really going high. So again, as these things are going up, they're just going to be more expensive to purchase in the future. All right, let's talk about the cost of waiting. Right? So let's have an example here. We're talking about a move-up buyer. I want to show you a specific example so you can see true numbers of what they would be. This is a person, they're selling their existing home this year for $250,000. They're going to look to move up to a new home at new construction or existing for $350,000, and the current interest rate is 4.5%, which is about where we are. All right, so here's the estimated numbers if you were to do that, pull that off today. Put it on the market, you more than likely get it done with a short period of time, and you're selling and then moving in by the end of the year. So the sale price is $250,000, and again, we're going to make an assumption here that after all the costs and paying off your loan and paying all the fees, you walk out of there with $100,000 in equity. You go and purchase a new home. You're a move-up buyer. You're purchasing a home for $350,000. The 30-year rate is 4.5%. So your principal and interest payment as of right now is $1,276. Just principal and interest, that doesn't include taxes or insurance. So quick little note there. All right, what happens if you wait? So let's just say that this scenario happens at the end of next year, maybe even into 2020, right? You're selling your existing home. We talked about house prices of existing houses. They were up 7% from last year. So we're gonna add 7% and say your sale price is $267.5. Your new home, for the new construction, according to the statistics we saw, they're going up 5%. So your purchase is $367,500 for the same house next year. And the interest rate, let's just say that we're in the high threes, middle fours by next year, the end of next year, we're at 5.5%. It's not inconceivable for interest rates to start going into the fives, getting mid fives coming soon. So if you look at the numbers, these are the numbers we already talked about. This is 2018. So let's roll in 2019. Your sale price of $267.5, after cost, you gain some equity, $17,500. Congratulations, you waited, the price went up. All right, now your new home purchase, that also went up about the same rate, okay? So your 30-year fixed mortgage of 5.5%, your principal and interest payment went from $1,267 to $1,418. All right, so that's not too drastic of a change. However, there are some numbers you probably want to be aware of. All right, if you look at the entirety of the loan, if you purchased under those terms, in 2018, your payment is $1,276. Your total loan amount is $252. Your total interest payment paid over the life of the loan is $2,076. And your total payments over the life of the loan is $459. That's at 4.5% at the current rate. Now in 2019, your payment goes up. You actually gain a little bit a little bit there for the loan amount because your new construction price went up less than your existing. The total interest paid goes up, and so does the total payments over the life of the loan. Now this is where it gets a little bit drastic when you look at the cost of waiting. If you were to wait a year or more, or an interest rate gain of 1% or more, you're looking at about $1,700 a year more in principal and interest payments. Now, you're actually putting a little bit, the loan amount actually goes down a little bit, so you're getting a gain there. Your total interest over the life of the loan is $53,000 more, and your total payments over the life of the loan are $51,000. So yes, to get the exact same house a year or about a year and 1% higher later, you're paying over $50,000 more over the time of that loan. That means $51,141 more if you wait. That's a big number. If you're looking at moving in that house and staying there a while, you're gonna be paying quite a lot more. So when is the best time to move? I always tell people the best time to move is when you're ready to move. What the worst thing you can do is try to time the market. Because however, do not wait to make a move because you're trying to time the market. There really isn't going to be a better time, honestly, to sell your property for a very high number and to get into a home. And while that home might be high in price, the interest rates are still pretty suppressed compared to the historical rate. So now is actually the perfect time to move if you're looking to do it. As you go forward, when your need comes up and it's down the road, you deal with it. But again, don't try to time the market because usually it's hard to get it all the way right. So as a quick reminder, when we tie this thing up, if you're looking to buy, sell, build, or invest in the Omaha market, call the pros at Team Bober. We'll go out there, we'll tackle the market for you. And if you want to reach out to us, if you have any more questions about the cost to buy and sell now or what it would be like to wait, be sure to give myself a call, 312-5-1276. You can personally email me, chris@nebraskarealty.com. Of course, you can go to our websites, Team Bober and OmahaInstantOffer.com to learn a little bit more about what we do. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you learned a lot. And if you have any more questions, be sure to give us a call. Have a great day.